What's up, family? Welcome to Positive Power XXI, J. Royce Films. I'm Jerry Royce Live, and you're watching The Red Room with Shay Samuels, right here on Music Vision Television. That's right, MVTV-21.com. It's going to be awesome, y'all. So please share this file. It's going to be awesome. You know what's going to be? It's going to be lit.
Hello, I'm Dr. Eric Holmes, the author of The Power of the Sea and Soulful Prayers. That is #1 best-selling. And I am in The Red Room with Shay.
Welcome to The Red Room. I am your host, Shay Samuels, and you are in for a treat, another amazing episode. I want to tell you that every time we have a guest, the show gets better. It gets better. It gets better. It gets better. The topics are brought to life, and I'm excited about interviewing this young lady today, talking with her, going deep and dirty. Yeah. We're going to go down dirty with this topic.
Let's do it.
We are going to get down and dirty with this topic because it's something that just needs to be talked about. Mm-hmm. But first, before we go into the topic, I would like for her to introduce herself. Miss Ashley Necole, how are you?
I'm doing good, and it's a pleasure to be here. I am a teacher. I am a leader in my community. I currently work in the Maryland area, and honestly, I love kids. So I'm with them 24/7, nonstop. I don't have children of my own, but I'm a mother to some because they call me mom.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'm just saying, like, oh gosh, like, why are you calling me
She's
mom?
like me. She's like a very young mom.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But I cherish the fact that they call me mom because they see obviously like a nurturing part of me in you. So I appreciate that.
The one thing I do want to say, and everybody knows that I am like a fashionista when it comes down. I love that.
Oh, thank you.
I absolutely 100%
so
love it. Up to the glasses.
Oh, I appreciate it.
I love it. I love it. I love someone with style. Everybody has their own style.
They do.
But I love when you can just kind of like rock what you want to rock, and it all falls in place.
I agree. I feel like sometimes like I dress how I feel.
Yeah.
So sometimes like let's not do the shoes. Let's do some sneakers today.
No, I think it's and you know there are kids out there who look at the things that we do.
That's so true.
And they actually are afraid to do that because we train them that they have to wear shoes with the dress.
Yeah.
So a niece of mine, I call her a niece in Christ, but she just went to prom. And she had her dress on, but she wanted to wear some Chucks with them.
See, that's
and
so cool.
She's like, I've been wanting to do this since I was 6 years old. She wasn't thinking about the heels.
Right.
So shout out to you.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
Shout out to you.
Thank you.
So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this topic because you were like, okay, this is all over you.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about sin.
Let's do it.
How serious we need to take sin.
Yeah.
We kind of just look it over.
Yeah.
We think it's okay. And especially in this day and time, we're just kind of like, you know, it's okay for me to sin. We're running amok. We're like the children in Egypt just saying, hey, we're going to do what we want to do. We're going to invent our own gods and we're going to serve these gods. And then when things are not working out, it's kind of like, bam.
Yeah.
But some people, you know, they can get away with it.
They sure. Sometimes I question why.
I just hit a button.
What's going on?
I just hit a button. So what do you say about that?
Honestly, like I said, I question it. Sometimes I'm just like, God, why are you allowing, you know, certain things to happen in this life and time? And, you know, people just getting away with it, you know, but God had to bring me back to a scripture where it says that just because he's not doing anything in the moment doesn't mean that he's not recognizing what's happening. And so he's just showing his grace. He's just showing his mercy. He's just showing that he loves us and he's giving us time. But I mean, time is winding up if you think about it, you know. And so I'm just like, okay, God. So, you know, obviously, you know, those that don't do what you tell them to do, they obviously have their day and time where they're going to reap the repercussions. You know, so sometimes you can't, I guess in my mind, you can't really focus on what they're not being, if kind of like, how can I say, in regards to them being in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just like, okay, God, let's just change the perspective, you know, as a daughter, you know, as a child of God.
Yeah.
You know, he deals with us differently.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Each person he does deal different. He deals with us differently. And so there are some people, you know, you hear of them drinking from a young age and they don't have to suffer anything. Someone, you know, it's like they drink and then somewhere down the line they end up dealing with some type of liver disease.
Yeah.
And they're like, I stopped drinking like 5 years ago, you know, or someone who is like a, you know, very, very careful with life, health and all that. And then they kind of get killed in a car accident. And I'm not saying these things are okay. I'm just saying God has a way of doing, and I'm not saying the car accident is God, so I don't want people to take me wrong.
Absolutely.
But what I'm saying is you just never know. And that's not a God thing. That's just more of a human nature thing.
Absolutely.
And so it's there's that saying, live your best life. You know, what does our best life look like without sin?
Yeah.
That's my question to you.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So literally in that sense, it's more so of, because for me, I had to learn obedience.
Yeah.
I literally had to learn how to hear the voice of God at a young age because, you know, nowadays, especially for people that are young, you know, they kind of feel like that YOLO lifestyle kind of thing. And they feel like because they're not being reprimanded or getting caught right then and there, like it's okay to just live and do what they want. But for me, because I knew that I was set apart, that I had to kind of rearrange my friends, rearrange my atmosphere, rearrange like how I viewed myself.
Yeah.
And so that was really a struggle in regards of me trying to understand who I was identity-wise. And so I understand. Yeah, I get it now, you know?
So I want to go back. I don't know why, but I want to go back where it all started for you.
Okay.
Because I believe your testimony might bless, it will, not might, it will bless somebody. So take us back when you first knew that you were set apart.
Well, my mom always told me that I was peculiar.
Yeah.
She always told me that I had like straightforward, and I didn't understand the word, but as I started to hang out with people and I started feeling disconnected, and me trying to do things that they were doing and then be the one that got caught.
Yeah.
The only one that got caught.
My daughters.
Only one that got caught. And I'm just like, why me? You know, and so there was times where I was always questioning, and there was times where, you know, my mom would have a dream about me. She said, Ashley, I don't know what you're going to do. She said, but you better not do it. Lo and behold, whatever it was, I got in trouble with it.
Yeah.
And so that right there showed me that I can't do what the crowd does.
Yes.
You know, and that I'm supposed to be within the crowd, but not of the crowd.
Yeah.
You know?
So were you raised in church?
I was raised in church.
Okay.
Oh gosh, yes, I was raised in church. Even when my mom was sick, I found myself being in church by myself, you know, obviously getting a ride and just sitting there and just kind of soaking in the word, not really understanding what was being brought forth, but I knew that my spirit knew.
Yeah.
You know, and so now it's like kind of coming in the manifestation nowadays, you know, and just being a little bit older, and I understand why I was going to church by myself, or I was always the one that loved church. I was there Monday through Friday. If I could do Saturday, I would, you know, it was choir rehearsal of some sort. But yeah, so even just me just loving God at a young age and knowing that I was called at a very young age, not understanding it all, but I knew that God had something over my life, you know, as in the anointing and all that, those good words.
I love it.
Yeah.
But I love it because even though our topic is about sin, what I'm about to ask you, or the questions I'm lining up to, definitely are going to lead us to how people can identify with your story. Because we all did not just wake up and we were perfectly pure in God's sight. We had to go through some things. We've committed our own level of sins. We understood, even with the anointing on our lives and sitting on the church pew every day, that we still would commit some level of sin. And we all still will. But there's a difference between understanding what your experience is as a young lady.
Right.
That's what I want to hone in on. There's a difference between your church when you were younger and the church today.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Oh my gosh. So I grew up Pentecostal. And so, you know, there were rules and regulations, you know, can't wear this, can't wear that. And now I would say, fast forwarding, I feel more free. And not necessarily saying that rules and regulations are a problem. Absolutely not. I believe in order. I believe in correction. I believe that's a form of love. And just growing up in those times we actually did like tarrying sessions and, you know, trying to receive the Holy Spirit. And in those days, like, I cherish those because I remember them and I remember where I came from. Yeah. And even though I was going through those things, trying to live, you know, a holy life, I also suffered in regards to like sinning and, you know, going out when I was supposed to go out. And, you know, my mother told me not to talk to this boy, but I did it anyway, you know. And so I figured out during my course of my life that, you know, it was either God's way or no way at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know,
and that's what I want people to get, that it's okay for us to go through a season.
Absolutely.
We can't stay there though.
Right.
And so when you know at such a young age that you have a call of God on your life, you know that you have a call of God on your life. Yeah, there's no way around it. There's no way. You, like you said, you have to change your friends. We want to hold on to the friendships. We want to hold on to the relationships. We don't want to listen to our parents, but we know 100% that there's a call of God on our lives, to the point at times where I used to cry. I didn't know what it was.
Same.
I didn't know what it was. And so we're going to talk more about this because I want other people to understand how effective learning from your sin is.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I love it. That's so good.
We're going to talk about how effective learning from your sin is. It's one thing to stay in it, but it's another to learn from it, to grow from it. And now we have what you have right here, Miss Ashley Necole, sitting next to me, telling you about it. So you can be the next testimony. We're going to take a music break. And when we come back from this music break, we're going to talk about that. We're going to jump into it. We're going to dive into it. I told you we're going to get a little dirty with this one, okay? So y'all stay tuned. Please, please, please come right back after this music break.
Yes.
Waking up to the light of a brand new day. Thank you, Lord, what I say when I kneel and pray. So fresh, so clean, now I'm on my way. Yeah, I'm on my way. Come on. Gripping grain as I'm flipping through the neighborhood. Car clean, music loud, and I'm feeling good. God's son on the plate, so it's understood. It's understood. People pointing at the light like they wanna fight. Yeah, they mad and they say I ain't living right. Come on, y'all, I'm just out there trying to be the light. Trying to be the light. Well, my walk, my talk, my swag. Everything you say make me bad. That's what he gon' use right now today. Yeah, here we go. You might not like how I walk, might can't stand how I talk. I might not be what you thought, but that's okay. I know just what to say when I kneel and I pray. Come on, here we go. He'll make a way for me today. Waking up, power up, man, let's get it in. Pray for the blessed life now I'm living in. Y'all don't know about the things that I'm up against. Yeah, here we go. On this highway of life, yeah, I'm switching lanes. Moving fast, too fast to remain the same. Watch the road, cause it's slick from the oil and rain. Fake friends really hating at their enemies. All mad cause I'm trying to change their enemy. I'm just walking in the life that he gave to me. My walk, my talk, my swag. Everything you say make me bad. That's what he gon' use right now today. Yeah, here we go. You might not like how I walk, might can't stand how I talk. I might not be what you thought, but that's okay. I know just what to say when I kneel and I pray. He said he'll make a way for me today. Here we go.
Welcome back. We are having an awesome, amazing, down dirty topic today. We're talking about sin.
Yeah.
Oh my God, especially for their age group. My age group too. Any age group, really. Any age group.
Exactly.
It's not just an age group specific thing, but we're talking about sin. And we're going to talk on the other side of this conversation about the effectiveness of living without sin, because there's an impact of living without sin. But behind the scenes, you know, I was just kind of pulling on you a little bit because there's so much more there. And I want young women to understand their purpose, but your power and how to get them, the power that you have to get them there.
Yeah.
Miss Ashley Necole is definitely someone to be noticed, not just because of the attire, but because of her heart and her passion to serve.
Yeah.
In fact, her last name is Service. Her last name is Service. And so I want you guys to just grab a hold of her testimony, everything that God had for her, and then even like I said, the effectiveness of living without sin, why that's so important.
Yeah.
So go a little bit into your, this mentorship that you have.
Yeah. So currently at my job, so how it all started, literally, God gave me a dream, and he showed me basically marrying a bunch of people. And so I was like, okay. And so as I, started this new job, I had this idea, and I'm like, gosh, how do I get it started? Where do I go? And so I kept it to myself, and honestly, one of my coworkers was like, hey, do you know anyone who wants to do step? And I like step. I used to step when I was in church. But yeah, so she asked, like, do you know of anyone who wanted to step? And I was just like, oh my gosh, the Lord has literally answered my prayers. And so I told her I did it, and then it really took off from there. And so I started off with 15 girls, and we were kind of doing like a little traveling here and there. But the focus was more so of getting them to understand a motto. And so I made up a motto. It's I love who I am. I'm made with purpose.
I love it.
And so we have a step with that, and we honestly just kind of stepped through that. And I wanted them to understand that there is a purpose for them.
Yeah.
Not just living just randomly or just kind of.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, right. Well, yeah, it's the truth. I'm trying to tell you. And so I really just enjoyed giving them what I didn't have.
Yeah.
As I should have.
Yeah.
When I was younger. And so shout out to my mom, because she was a great help. But even beside or after her, those that were not in my circle, I didn't really have that at school.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the majority of the time that children are at in their life is school. If you really think about it. And so I thought that I could be a leader. Within the school system to kind of promote God in a way that they could understand their purpose. So anyway, so the motto, like it says, I love who I am, I'm made with purpose, and we have a step in. I tell them to speak it loudly, because even though they don't understand it, their spirit does.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
that's good.
By me being able to really recite that to them and let them know, like, hey, you're here for a reason, you're here for a purpose. And so I'm really excited. So now this school year, we're going to be doing community work.
Yeah.
So now we're going to be volunteering. So we have it's called Step and Serve.
Yeah.
And so we're just going to go into the community, also perform for them, but also show them that, hey, that we can give back, in a way that maybe we weren't able to do it before.
Yeah.
So.
And see, I love that, because I wasn't aware. I just know that there was something deep down inside of you that people needed to be aware of.
Gotcha.
Your passion for women and young women to understand their purpose. One, because you didn't have it.
Yeah.
And so there's effectiveness with that in the community. And when we talk about the effectiveness of living without sin, there's an impact that sin, kind of, it pushes us into a war zone,
It
if
does.
you will.
Oh, God, it does. Even just when you're saying that, I thought of how when I was in situations, I would, like you said, warring, I would really find myself convicted.
Yes.
I would find myself literally crying at the end of whatever I was doing, because in my spirit, I knew that wasn't of God. And I was out of order, and out of the will, And so when that moment happened, I just was like, God, how do I get back? How do I get back to the place where I once was with you in the very beginning, And so I just knew that living in disobedience was not the will of God. Yeah. And so, and this is when I was in my teens. Yeah. And even kind of in some of my adult years, I still had to learn. Yeah. But I understand the meaning of our relation, me and God. Yeah. I understand how it is when you're out of the will of God and when you're in the will of God. Yeah. And my mom always says there's the permissive and there's the perfect will of God. Yes. And so I actually was in both, and so I understood that God really was my anchor. Yeah. And just learning everything. So so you mentioned that there are times where you knew you were out of the will of God. So give us an example for someone who may not be able to identify it. I'm sure that we all know when we are, but let's solidify it for them. Indeed. Let's go ahead and give them that confirmation that you are. So honestly, it's just when you know that so we have a conscience, right? So we have this thing in our mind or within us that halts us.
Yeah.
You know, we know right from wrong, we know left from right. So we're very conscientious of who we are.
Yeah.
And so when we're in a predicament and there's a red flag going on, then that's when you're basically in the wrong.
Yeah.
And so if you know that you're not supposed to be with these people or hanging out or doing whatever, there's always going to be that halt.
Yeah.
But there is a place where you continuously do it, and then it becomes where it's no longer there. That
You're
conviction.
numb to it.
Yeah, you're numb to it. Yeah.
And so the way that I utilize that opportunity to teach people is like medication.
Absolutely.
When you're on a certain medication for pain,
that's good.
you know, there's that, you take that 400 milligrams at first, and because you get immune to that 400, you move up to 800, then you move up to hydrocodone, then you move up to something a little bit harder, because whatever it is that you were taking, you're now immune to it. And that's how living in sin is. You know, you have surpassed God's grace for that thing, and now you're operating now all in self, and it's just been a normal cycle for you. So now, when you were set free and you were no longer in sin, and you've overcome that thing, talk about your freedom.
Can I just tell you, I've never experienced as much freedom and love in God as I've ever had. It's like I wake up peaceful, and that's the thing I've struggled with. And I told someone this the other day that I was fighting. I've fought for my peace previously because I was always worried and concerned about, you know, I was in a relationship at the time, worried and concerned about what they're doing, who they're doing it with, and you know, that wasn't like I said. When you're in sin, like you're open to so much adversity, and I had to realize, like, whoa, okay, this is not it. And so, but like I said, me living now, like I wake up like praising the Lord, like it's just really just a different mindset and a perspective that I see myself as a daughter, because I didn't see myself as a daughter. I saw myself more of like an orphan, if you will. You know, and so now I understand living in the way that God told me to, which is a daughter. You know, and so like I said, free as a bird, but I'm restricted because I set boundaries and I didn't have that before.
That's good. You were very disciplined to do that. You're very disciplined. So take note of that. Start setting boundaries for yourself.
Please do.
Know what you are desiring in the flesh.
Absolutely.
Write it down. Take a journal of it, and make sure that you understand, like, you know, this is what I used to do. If it's for me, it's chocolate. I'm going to tell y'all right now. For me, it's chocolate. I'm not. That's my sin. That's one of them.
I like eating,
but every now and then I have to say, once a month you can only have this, or once a month you can have that. But it starts with baby steps.
It does.
What words of encouragement would you have for someone tonight? And I mean specifically for your age group and below. For your age group, what words do you have as an encouragement?
Definitely let them know that they're not alone. And that God is a God that loves. Regardless of what you do, regardless of where you come from. Listen, I'm telling you, He can bring you from the prison to the palace. He literally can take you out of that situation if you really trust in Him. And you know, I guess that scripture, lean not into your own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He'll direct your path. And that's been like my staple piece. And so I guess finding scriptures and finding what God thinks about you, because I didn't understand, you know?
You know, the most amazing thing that we have right now is modern technology.
Indeed.
Because there were scriptures that I didn't even know exist until I went on to Google. I was feeling a certain type of way, and I would Google something, and I would say, this is how I'm feeling. Give me a scripture on this. Scriptures on happiness. Scriptures on love. Scriptures on peace. Scriptures on, even on how to sleep in peace. Scriptures on warfare. Scriptures on, and so there's certain things that church can't teach you, but Google can, and YouTube can. I do Bible study sometime on YouTube because I know how important it is. So I just want to thank you so much, because this has been a blessing, and I know that there's so much more in you. We have to have you back.
Indeed.
We have to have you back, because there's so much more there, and I know that the generation now needs someone like you, a warrior like yourself, someone who's experienced it at a young age. Because me trying to tell here's the thing, I'm in the middle. Like I can literally go with the 30 and below, and I can go with the 40 and higher.
Same.
Like that's my gift.
I get it. That's okay. Listen.
That's my gift.
And everybody can do it.
When I was in church, I mean, well, not when I was in church, but the church I was going to, the college and career people would actually invite us to their events, and the others, then we would leave there. My kids would be there, but you know, it's an amazing thing for you guys to understand the power of sin, the effectiveness of living without sin. I want you guys to grab a hold of everything that Ashley Necole said today. We're going to have her back. I'm excited about it. But our time is up.
Yeah.
Our time, and time flies when you're having fun.
I know, indeed.
Our time is up. And so I just want to thank you guys for joining another episode. Please, please, please stay tuned. There'll be more episodes to come, and we will see you the next time.
This is a DAB.
La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la. This vibe here got me out of control. Watch me dance just a little bit. Watch me dance just a little bit. Watch me dance just a little bit. La la la, la la la, la la la.
I know I messed up, but I tried. I really need you to get by. Had to swallow my pride. Now your boy's on fire. Back then didn't want me. Now I'm hot all on me. Spirit of God all on me. Ain't got time to be phony. Lift him up just a little bit. MG with another hit. John B all over it. Word of God is my origin.
This vibe here got me out of control. Watch me dance just a little bit. Watch me dance just a little bit. Watch me dance just a little bit. La la la, la la la, la la la. Who said the church can't swag it out? Watch your boy spit just a little bit. Preacher come down from the pulpit. This one got God all over it. This song got me pure trembling. Guess I'm filled with love and adrenaline. Even the angels are shivering. My flow cold, but Christ moving in. Tic-tac-toe, I'm allowing him. X with I-O, and I'm back again. I just reload, let the record spin. I just reload, let the record spin. La, la, la. La, la, la. La, la, la. This vibe here got me out of control. Watch me dance just a little bit. Watch me dance just a little bit. Watch me dance just a little bit. La, la, la. La, la, la. La, la.
When I was 10, I got down on my knees to pray. Lord, if you have a girl, then send her on my way. All I wanna do with my life is love my wife. All I wanna do with my wife is treat her like Christ. Searching for living waters, marriage is not an option. Learning it from my father, spirited of adoption. Mixing it all together, oxygen of concoctions. That's why loving you right's the only option, yeah? I just gotta give him praise. I just gotta give him praise. I just gotta give him praise. I just gotta give God praise. I'm giving them all fight, I'm leaving them on flight. I'm building these characteristics up all night. I'm playing my cards right, conducting myself like. Been waiting my whole life for the girl I haven't met yet. Feels like I've been waiting so long for you, so long. I long